This is Talkin Hoopz, the show that discusses real NBA stories, gives you all the latest rumors, and gets you into heated debates.
It's dunks and layups. How many of his points have been jump shots? 0.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
0.
It's not happening. Not in this NBA. Maybe in the fantasy NBA that they're playing in, but not in this NBA.
We're going to challenge each other in practice.
We talking about practice, not a game.
Once the game starts, I mean, it's going to be easy.
You better get off whatever you're smoking.
Strap in, get your popcorn, put your headphones on.
This is Talkin Hoopz.
It's really good to checking out Talkin Hoopz. Talkin Hoopz.
Talkin Hoopz, the official talk show of NBRP Miami.
Talkin Hoopz starts right now.
Talkin Hoopz. TalkinHoops.com. AJ, Kyle, Mark Strickland with you for the show. NBRPA Miami chapter, NBRPAMiami.com. Check them out. Derek Fisher is the new head coach of the New York Knicks. We got all that. Phil Jackson, he had nothing but good things to say about Fisher. That's expected, though. Kevin Love, where is he going? Is he going to be traded before the draft, on the draft, or is he going to remain for one more season in Minnesota? We got more on that. The NBA Finals, Game 3 is tonight. Heat, Spurs. The series is tied 1-1. We all know who Strict is rooting for. And on top of all that, we got a real sneaker war going on right now. I'm just going to get us right into that. Kyle and Mark, let it rip, baby. Let it rip.
Man, he can't cope with me, man. Come on, dude. Talking about an NBA player. How you gonna compete with an NBA player?
It's white. It's the white
What
lizard.
is he right here? Oh man.
You guys are crazy.
Okay, I gotta get him. Sorry. All right, AJ.
I'm pulling out some real OGs on him. See, I don't go by Jordans anymore because I have
get him free
of all the sneakers. Okay.
Free.
Apparently.
See, Mark thinks that he has a better collection than me, and the key word in that is think.
Yes.
He thinks.
I do.
These haven't even been worn. I bought these 10 years ago. Okay.
I'm waiting for Strick.
10 years ago.
Strick, what are you digging in a closet? Where'd you go?
Sneakers don't.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
These sneakers don't even get worn.
These don't either. I'm missing some.
Yeah.
Where are the
I like them
sneakers?
better. I like these.
There we go.
I got the better ones now. I got the better ones.
I don't know. I like those blue ones with Spike Lee's face on them.
Killing them.
The better ones right there. See that?
Woo! Dancing on your face with these.
In the tongue. Air Jordan in the tongue. When they get re-released,
man.
yeah.
You guys are crazy.
Woo! Come on back. Come on back.
It was pretty.
Come on back. Come on back. Come on back, bro. Come on back.
You brought those out. You bringing those out again?
These are the best ones of all of them that we've seen. These are the flyest.
No way. These are the
I don't
flyest Jordans ever made.
Cement. I have them.
I don't see Spike Lee's face on your shoes, Kyle.
I have those.
I don't
Flyest Jordans ever made.
Those are fresh though. Those are
Flyest ever made.
Flyest ever made.
Come on, man.
If you didn't know, now you know.
Come on, man.
If you really want me to step into my closet, then I'm gonna miss about 20 minutes of the show because if I get into that's not even me going into my closet.
Yeah.
That ain't me either. I'm right here.
I'm not even going into my closet.
Let me go in the basement.
Let me go into the
Yeah, Kyle, you definitely don't have a basement.
If I don't have a basement.
You definitely don't have a
Go
basement.
downstairs.
But you can check your fire chute.
I can check my fire
Let me
sheet.
go downstairs. Then I hit him with the crisp whites. Ooh, just crisp white on. Ain't even war.
Here we
Ain't
go.
even war. Look at that.
Actually, those are pretty fresh.
Come on, man. All white J's. Come on. You can't go wrong in the summertime with all white J's.
Alright, that's why I got the two.
Me too.
All right.
I'm missing something.
I believe it's Strick. I want to see the basement.
You're missing something, man.
Next show, you're gonna have to take us into the basement and see all these sneakers.
Yeah, I just slide y'all right here under the bed. this. See, I got so many sneakers. I had to put them under the guest bed. Let's just go down to Kobe row. Kobe's.
That's the guest room bed.
Kobe's.
Damn, you want me to pull out my other Nikes?
Look at that.
Kobe's.
You want me to pull out some of my SBs?
Let's slide down, AJ. Let's keep on sliding down.
Wow.
Let's keep on sliding down. Kobe's.
What is it? We're like on a
Let's
sneaker
keep sliding
war.
down. Let's keep sliding down.
This is like an MTV Cribs
Kobe's.
sneakers.
Kobe's, man. Let's keep sliding down. Let's slide down some more. No, you ain't nobody got these on the with the gold fillet Nike sign. Kobe's. Let's slide down some more, AJ. Let's slide down some more. Kobe's. Okay, let me end off with it. I'm gonna end them off. Kobe's.
Yeah.
Kobe lifestyles. Come on.
I'm about to
Come
go.
on, man. That's the guest room. That's the guest bedroom.
That's the guest bedroom, Kyle. That's crazy.
Guest bedroom.
If
Man.
I don't think you got him
my closet
beat.
right now, it's gonna be a wrap.
Bro, you
Man,
don't
I
have
I'm
go
not
to.
gonna do it.
downstairs, man.
I don't think you can
You'll
beat
be
with
like,
that, Kyle.
oh my god, let me stop.
If I go in my closet, it'll be a wrap.
I don't know what happened to my black and gold.
I don't even want to do that. I don't even want to do that right now. I don't want to do that right now.
Let's go basketball. Let's get on the basketball. See my hat? See that hat? Look at that. Look at that hat.
Yeah.
Look at that hat. Woo! Yours don't say finals though. Yours say to be continued on it. Tag, to be continued. Now, reconstruction.
Strick,
New York Knicks reconstruction.
Strick, you're in rare form tonight, Strick.
Just letting him know, man. He can't keep up.
We gotta bring out the sneakers more often here.
You know that it's
Man, look at that.
You know the series is 1-1, right? Yeah, I see
Look at the
that.
closet.
Wow,
Look at
that.
that's crazy.
Look at all that. That's the guest room, buddy. That's just a guest room.
Are those snow boots?
Nah, those are Timberlands, man. Come on.
Timberlands. All
That's
right,
my New York. That's my New York. And jeans and Timberlands when it rains, come on.
I got you.
Can't go wrong with that.
I got you. All right. All
Just
right.
some the black and gold.
All right, wait. I got one for you guys. Although I don't think you can see this, but I'm going to put this on the screen. It's a picture of Derek Fisher in front of a Knicks logo.
That's cool, man. I'm happy for him, though. I'm really happy for him, man. I think he's going to do a great job. Because Phil wanted somebody there, man, who could run the triangle. He's really set on running the triangle, and there's nobody that's a better leader, a better person to implement that offense to New York, man. Nobody better.
So you're
I
liking
really believe
it.
that.
You're liking it.
Yeah, man, I like that move. I like the Phil Jackson move. I like the Derek Fisher move. I just want to see who he's gonna have on his staff.
Kurt Rambis.
That's gonna be the key.
Kurt Rambis and Bill Cartwright. Right, Kyle? Is that like where we're at?
That
here?
it?
That's what it sounds like. I mean, obviously he'd have to get more people, but it's probably going to be just people that have worked with Phil or played for Phil, people that he's comfortable with, familiar with. Nobody that, it wouldn't make any sense for them to run a triangle offense and for them to bring in a coaching staff that doesn't know anything about the triangle offense. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But I'm not, obviously you can't. Obviously, he runs the triangle offense, Phil Jackson, but you can't run it if you don't have the personnel. So right now, the Knicks to me don't have that personnel. I don't know who they have. They don't have guys that can make outside jump shots.
Right. Well,
you don't know if Carmelo Anthony is going to be back.
Right.
If you're going to play Tyson Chandler and Amari Stoudemire in that somehow, Amari Stoudemire can't even stay healthy for a whole season. So I don't know if they have the players this season to run a triangle.
Right. Free agency's coming. I think that's going to be a factor. A point guard, obviously that's priority for the Knicks this season is to move Raymond Felton, get him out of there. Have to. I look at this as look, Jason Kidd got the Nets gig last year. Derek Fisher gets it this year, but Jason Kidd kind of just went in, had Lawrence Frank. They didn't get along, but he did his own thing.
Yeah.
Derek Fisher is basically what looks to be like a puppet, Phil Jackson's puppet. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean he's going to have help that I think Jason Kidd didn't have last season.
Exactly.
And if Jason Kidd was able to bring the Nets, with the 5th seed, which is pretty much what we said they were going to do anyway, but he was able to do that by himself, I think Derek Fisher has a chance here to succeed, especially with all the help around him. So I think he's even got more of an advantage just with that alone than what Jason Kidd went through last season.
They'll be better if Carmelo Anthony leaves, and then they try to get Kevin Durant in the future.
You like that? That's what you
Man,
want.
Kevin Durant with a Stoudemire still there. Come on, man. That's a killer lineup.
I don't know. Obviously Durant. Durant's Kevin Durant, second best player in the world. That's how a lot of people look at him.
Yeah,
but
man.
I would like to.
Nice pick up for him, and he has a relationship with Derek Fisher.
Yeah,
you got Phil Jackson there.
Right.
You're in New York City. You done kind of like Oklahoma City. You done got as far as you're gonna go with that squad. It's time to kind of do something different.
Right.
Kind of do something different. You got to.
Well, you also got to see what Oklahoma City does in the next 2 seasons. What changes they make, who they bring in, and their young players. They got some good young players that don't get a ton of playing time when guys like Westbrook and Durant are on the floor. But look, Reggie Jackson's a nice young player. He could easily start. So, there's a lot of questions there too. But hey, the Knicks could swing a deal and get Kevin Durant. That'd be awesome if he signs.
Or Westbrook.
Well, one or the other.
Swing a deal?
I mean, I don't. Well, that's all they can do at this point in time. Otherwise, they gotta wait.
The Knicks can't trade it for nobody. This season, this is going to be the test because you have a new coach. The Knicks are going to be bad next season.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the test. Can Derek Fisher make it through a season without the New York media and the New York fans running him out of town? Okay,
right.
Because they're going to be bad.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is going to point to he's a first-year coach, and he's going to take a lot of the heat even though they don't have the personnel.
Right.
Now, if he can do something with this team that shows progress even when they're rebuilding, because let's face it, this is basically a rebuilding year. They're using this year to clear the books because Amari Stoudemire has 1 more year. Tyson Chandler has 1 more year. Bargnani has 1 more year.
Right.
All that comes off the books.
Unless they move that expiring contract for some pieces they feel they could use in the future.
But then I feel like you put yourself in the same position because you'd be moving an expiring contract for somebody who has a 3 or 4 or 5 year deal.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You don't just move it for a guy that you're unhappy with. It would have to be a guy that you see in the future, that you see going forward.
Or you think he's going to stick around?
Well, I look at the Knicks' previous moves in the past, and they just pick up random guys, So I'm not here to say that the Knicks are going to do something smart with these expiring contracts because I don't know if they are.
Right. We have to.
Maybe they take on a really bad contract.
I just want to point this out. Phil Jackson is in complete control. Okay. James Dolan wasn't even at the press conference today. Your owner was not at the press conference.
Phil Jackson is in control. That to me says either A, James Dolan doesn't care, or B, he doesn't support the decision.
No, I think he's staying away and letting Phil Jackson do whatever he has to do. That's what I think. They said they hung out with them at the Rangers game.
You need to sit down, be an owner, and bring some people in there that know what they're doing basketball.
Right. This was the first.
That's what they need to do.
This was the first press conference that I haven't seen James Dolan at, and I was surprised. I thought he might be there, but to me, this is a sign that he's really given Phil full control. This is Phil's team, and I don't think we can hold anything against him until, one, we see what he does over this summer, what he does with making trades, and also how they play next season. You're already saying they're going to be bad. That's your immediate prediction. You don't know what Phil Jackson's going to do yet, though. And I just feel like we can't judge that until we see what he does. And I know you're like, well, what can they do? They don't have a draft pick. They don't have this. They don't have that. What can they really do? But, hey, this is the start. They got their coach in place. It took long enough, but they got him. So it's the first step in the right direction. Now they got a new coach.
First of all, they got their second choice as a coach because their first choice was Steve Kerr.
Right.
Okay? You brought Phil Jackson in to get the top of the class guys, and he saw Steve Kerr as the top of the class, and he missed out. So already you're off to a bad start. Okay, then you offer Steve Kerr $17 million, and he's your first choice, and then you turn around and give Derek Fisher $25 million, and he's your second choice.
Right.
Why are you giving your second choice $7 or $8 million more than your first choice?
Right. Well, first
5 years, $25 million for a guy who's never coached a game in his life.
I mean, first of all, I see it as Derek Fisher's Phil Jackson's guy. Okay. That's his boy.
So you make $25 million?
Look, I'm just saying, that's his boy. He's going to take care of his boy.
What Steve Kerr get? 20 what?
Steve Kerr got like 23, but the Knicks offered Steve Kerr 17.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, it was a little puzzling as to that. I agree with you, but we don't know for sure that he may have put Steve Kerr as his first option because he probably didn't know where Derek Fisher's head was at. Is he going to retire? Is he going to play another year? He's immediately going into coaching. I mean, Derek Fisher came out and said he was going to be dad for a while, and then all of a sudden now he's the head coach of the Knicks. I mean, he obviously felt Fisher was going to be a good coach. Everyone thought one day he was going to coach. Maybe the extra money was to say, all right, I'll give you extra money. Start now. This way we don't have to wait for you to be a coach. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of question marks with that. But he was just a player. And I think if you look at it from his end, he wanted Steve Kerr because he didn't know what he didn't want to go through this with Derek Fisher, and then he had to because Steve Kerr left for Golden State, so then he didn't have a choice but to give Fisher more money. There's different ways to look at it.
Yeah.
But he got his guy. It was either Fisher or Kerr. I think everyone knew that. Or Brian Shaw, but I think Phil Jackson came out and said they gave enough to Denver, so they weren't going to give anything else to Denver. But you know, we'll see what happens. Look, all you can do is wait and see. He's
all you can do.
He's taking his time. That's what he's doing. So
all you can do.
But look, you said if Carmelo leaves and they wait for Kevin Durant, look, Kevin Love is also a free agent next season. LaMarcus Aldridge is a free agent next season.
Here's my only issue though, just to sort of put a cap on this, is that I believe Phil Jackson's deal is $60 million. You are paying your president and coach $85 million over the next 5 years.
Right.
$85 million. That's more than the salary cap. You're paying a president and a coach more than the salary cap. It's only two guys, and they've exceeded the salary cap by themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a lot of money for those two things. $25 million for a guy who's never coached, and $60 million for your president. I mean, again, the Knicks are going down the same road. It's like, let's spend money foolishly.
Well, it's just the coaching doesn't affect the salary cap.
I know it doesn't, but I'm comparing it. Look, I'm comparing it to you have two guys who make more money than what the NBA allows an entire team to have as a salary cap.
Right.
That's my comparison.
Right. No, look, I agree. But they're New York. They're going to spend money, okay? And they're desperate to win.
That's my whole point.
They haven't won in 40 years.
For that exact reason, to change things, and they're already going down the same exact road.
Right, look.
They're getting embarrassed publicly.
Right.
You got people turning them down. Steve Kerr turns them down. Then you give your second, first of all, Phil Jackson tried to get Derek Fisher to coach while he was still playing the Thunder. So he gets hit with a $25,000 fine for tampering, okay?
Right.
So, again, embarrassed publicly. He was passed over and then fined. Then you bring in a guy who's never coached before, give him $25 million, and now you have all these question marks surrounding Carmelo Anthony, and instead of saying publicly that we feel confident we'll be able to get Carmelo Anthony, they're saying, oh, we hope Derek Fisher can sway Carmelo Anthony to stay. What happened? How did the Knicks get here? You know, how did they get to where they have to convince guys to come play to New York? How did they get to a place where coaches are passing over the Knicks to coach the Warriors?
Well, I told you, it starts with the owner. You know, it starts with Cablevision. It starts with the owner. And look, he's willing to just step out of the way now, give Phil Jackson control, but he's made a lot of bad decisions, and he's openly admitted it at this point. He needs someone to just take over, and that's why you're paying for Phil Jackson. Okay?
And I haven't seen a good decision. Look, Derek Fisher can be the greatest coach of all time for all I know.
Right.
Right now, I see a guy who's never coached a game making $25 million a year.
Agreed.
That's my $25 million over 5 years.
Agreed. It's definitely a crapshoot, but
definitely a crapshoot.
All you could do is have faith in your general manager, your brand new general manager that seems to think that he could turn this thing around or he wouldn't have taken the job. He's not going to kill his legacy.
Well, he's not a general manager. He's the president. Remember, you still have Steve Mills there, who destroyed the Knicks in the past, and he's still the general manager. I mean, he's failed in that role with that exact same franchise before, and yet here he is again. So what changes are they really making?
Well, who's in charge, though? Steve Mills is not in charge.
Jackson's the president, but if he was the president, why is Steve Mills still the GM?
maybe he's got close ties with Dolan. He was the chairman of the Garden. He was involved with the players' union.
Well,
I mean,
you
this
just
guy.
said Dolan is taking a step back. So what is he?
We need somebody in there. He needs eyes and ears in the office to see what's going on.
So then
Somebody
he didn't
report
really
back.
step back. Then he's still there, and
Look,
the owner hasn't changed.
I'm not the Knicks front office. We don't know what's going on in there, you know? If anything, Strick, just because you formerly played, you know more what goes on in a front office than we do. And actually, Strick, that's a good question to ask. Did you hear all the rumblings and stuff from the front office?
Oh, yeah, you hear it. But I just look at the Knicks, man. But you still have two pieces that are on the same page. You know what I mean? Derek Fisher, Phil Jackson, same page. You know what I mean? That's all you need. That's a good start to me. You know, you got two people that's on the same page that knows the same offense, that are going to teach the same things. They're both going to demand respect. Derek Fisher is going to be respected. All he has to do is come in there and just try to win. If he has a decent season with the Knicks, the next crop next year will be a crop of players that's going to respect him as a coach. He still has to earn that respect as a coach. That's why Phil Jackson has the lead in the beginning, because he's the person that people are going to respect.
Right.
So that's a good start to me. That's a good start. I mean, all of the money and the salary cap and Melo and all these guys with these high-paid contracts, I mean, gonna have to kind of work, gonna have to let that work itself out, and then you're gonna have to try to win games with dealing with that. That's all you're gonna have to do. That's it.
Right. One thing I also do like what Derek Fisher brings to the table is that he just played around all these guys. He's kind of in with he's in with the hip hop now, as Phil Jackson said.
Yeah, that's a touchy subject. You know, that's the respect thing. All these guys want to respect somebody that just came off the court.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the big question.
Right.
That's going to be the big question.
Right. And on a side note, I actually talked to Quincy Doobie today. We're going to have him on the show soon before he goes to his workouts. But I was talking to Quincy about Derek Fisher, and he actually thinks it's a great move. He said he's met Fisher, being the president of the union and everything, says, one, he's a great guy, and if he was playing for him, he'd totally be on board with whatever Fish says, just because he respects him. You know, he respects him as a player. He's a basketball guy. You know, he's a student of the game. He's the man. Everyone looks at this guy as the man. He's D Fish. So, you know, from Quincy's standpoint, hey, if you're telling already players would definitely want to play for Derek Fisher, that's a positive sign. You know, a guy from the outside telling you, hey, he's going to be a good coach. I think he's got Phil Jackson there. He's got the right personnel. They're going to bring in the old assistants, it looks like, that run the triangle. And then, like, it comes down to what Kyle said. Can they put the right pieces together for this system? That's the big question.
That's the key.
That's key.
That's the key.
Not only that, but I don't know of many other coaches who even run the triangle offense, which means not only is this a year where everything is going to be a complete waste of time, but now next season, when you bring in all this new personnel, this is all going to be the first time anybody has ever run the triangle offense, probably, for the guys who come next year.
Right.
Unless you played on Phil Jackson's team, which there's not many players left in the NBA that have, nobody knows the system, which means next season is the first year for most of these guys, which means you're maybe even 2 years out, at least, from the Knicks being a competitor, because they got to learn a whole new system, not to mention they got to all get their chemistry together. You know, and it doesn't come together for all these guys so quickly as it did for LeBron, Wade, and James. I mean, you got the best three players in the world playing together, and it took them a while to get used to each other. So imagine a whole bunch of different guys coming to the Knicks and learning a new system on top of that.
Right.
You may even be 2 years away from the Knicks being a competitor.
Right. And now, while we're still on the Knicks, how about the reports of LeBron and Carmelo trying to play together next season? Or what's going on there? What's all that about?
I just don't know how that's gonna work though. There's just not enough balls for that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have. I know they're not gonna get rid of D Wade. You're not gonna get rid of D Wade. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have Melo, LeBron, and D Wade on the same team. Like, it's. I don't see that. I don't see how that's gonna work.
Right.
I just don't see how that's gonna work. I really don't.
I can't see that happening. All of them would have to take a ridiculous pay cut.
Yeah.
You know, they already took a pay cut to play with each other. And LeBron, if LeBron, even if LeBron doesn't win this year, right? He still has 2 rings. Wade's got 3. Bosh has got 2. At what point do you really have to go kill yourself over trying to get a ring? They've got their rings. Their legacies are mostly set. They still have obviously more years to play, but it's not like they don't have any rings and they got to make sacrifices to try to get to the promised land. They're there already. They're there, and what more sacrifices do they need to make? So I don't think they're desperate enough to have to take such a pay cut just so Melo can join them in Miami. There's not really a point to that. I don't see any of them leaving. Obviously, Wade is not going anywhere. Bosh has already said he doesn't want to play anywhere else other than Miami. Oh. And LeBron, he obviously has the power to go anywhere he wants, but why would you?
Well, you know what else? People are hyping your boy, Strick, Stephen A., because he called LeBron going to Miami, and now he's saying that Melo and LeBron are going to team up next season. So, I mean,
it's a chance, man. I mean, I just don't see how that's going to work basketball wise,
right?
Man. You know what I mean? I just don't see that working unless Melo, all of a sudden just buys into being second fiddle. That's the only way that's going to work because LeBron is the first guy on this team. He's the guy that's going to take the shots. He is the leader of the team. He is the best player in the league. So that's just like, he's just going to have to be second fiddle to this guy. I just don't see Carmelo doing that at this age and at this point of his career. It just don't make sense.
Right. Not just that, but if Melo was to go to Miami, and like you said, you got Wade and LeBron there, he would basically just be hanging around the perimeter the entire game. He really wouldn't have to do anything else. And I don't know if
he had to step his game up tremendously defensively.
Yeah.
Which is the same reason why Beasley is not playing.
Yeah.
Because I felt like he could really help us, especially offensively, that'll give us another scoring punch. But defensively, he's horrible. On defensive rotations, defensive numbers, Miami Heat, great guys on defensive numbers. If you got low grade, you're not going to get in the game.
Yeah.
That's the situation. I don't see Melo buying into that defensive thing. He's an offensive scorer. That's what he does. He scores the basketball. Right. He's not known as a defensive stopper. So I don't see that being an additive plus to the Heat or making the team a better team. I mean, you got to score, but defensively, what are you going to have? We win now because defense. Defense helped us this year.
His rebounding numbers are up this year. He had a career high in rebounding, and that is definitely something the Heat could use. But at the same time, do they really need rebounding? Because the Heat have managed to win championships without even being out rebounded just about every game. So
first of all, if you're bringing in Melo, you're not bringing him in for his rebounding.
Obviously, but I'm saying it's a bonus with him. It's a bonus that you got a guy that can grab 8 boards a game.
That is a sad thing when you say him being able to rebound is a bonus.
Well, on the Heat, I mean, they need rebound.
Forward. He should be rebounding. It's not a bonus. It comes with the position.
Well, there's a lot of guys on the Heat that can't rebound, so I'm just saying they get out-rebounded every game. Granted, they go with small lineups, and I get it.
Yeah, we're very undersized. With
I get it.
He's undersized, man. Yeah, Lewis, he's undersized.
I get it.
Out on the perimeter. Bosh Kemp's out on the perimeter.
I get it, but you got a small forward playing power forward that's grabbing rebounds. I mean, it's just a nice bonus to have. Okay, I'm not saying he's a great rebounder or he's one of the best in the game, but at his position, 8 boards is pretty solid. Okay, how many rebounds does LeBron get every game? He doesn't get like 10.
Out 10 last game.
Yeah, I'd say, but okay, Melo's gotten like 14. You know, like
15 tonight.
Look,
triple double tonight. Triple double tonight.
You're crazy. You're sneaker high right now, Strick. You're sneaker high. All right. You're sneaker high right now, okay?
Maybe get it, but look, this is not even a trick question. How many superstar? Now remember, I'm saying superstar. How many superstar players only do one thing?
None.
They all contribute to multiple areas. Points and assists, points and rebounds, points, blocks, and some combination, steals, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So if you say Carmelo Anthony, because he doesn't do anything else but score, says rebounding is a bonus, then is he really a superstar? Because he should have 2 weapons in his arsenal at least to be considered a superstar.
Well, but that's just it.
Potential.
That's what you're doing.
He has the potential to be a superstar, though. He has the potential.
So
you're adding.
So Carmelo Anthony's not a superstar.
No, I think he's like there. I think he's a superstar.
Right there, yeah. He's right there. He's tough, man.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's a great player.
You're adding.
Player, he just don't win.
With Melo being a superstar comes all those bonuses, which you don't have right now. You know, you don't have that. Okay,
Yeah.
You don't have. I mean, look, you got Chris Bosh, but I'm saying, Chris Bosh has been the one to sacrifice. Melo's obviously not going to sacrifice, and.
But maybe that's what LeBron needs, though. On the flip side, maybe LeBron needs somebody to kind of take me because he's tired, man.
Right.
It's evident that he's tired.
Right. Look,
He
let's look.
everything this year. So now he'll have another guy that he can go to because apparently, D Wade is going to sit out more games next year.
Right.
That's just how it's going to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of age. So it may work, but I just don't see defensively. Offensively, I can see how it works because LeBron likes to pass the ball.
Right.
He's a guy that can get into the paint. You got another guy you can go to. But I don't see how it's going to work with all 3 of them on the team. I just don't see how that's going to work.
Well, like we said, offensively, LeBron could definitely use a guy like Melo to score.
He can, definitely.
Because
I can't see that.
he does not. If the rest of the team isn't going, at least you have another guy that could just drop 50 or 60 on you.
Yeah, you got somebody else out there who can consistently get buckets.
But consistently, like one of the best in the league. Maybe he's look. Barkley thinks he's the best scorer in the NBA.
Yeah, he can score. He can score that rock. I can't knock that on. He can score.
He can do that.
Maybe something that we may need with Miami, and maybe that coming down here, he'll be in better physical condition because in New York he's a fat boy.
But
you know what I'm saying? That's the truth. That's just the truth. He's heavy down here, man. He's gonna get chiseled. I mean. They take weight and body fat. They take that down here. They do weight and body fat. You don't have weight and body fat, you get fined.
Was that?
You know what I mean? It's a different organization down here. They're the best at conditioning, which is why LeBron is LeBron, which is why D Wade became D Wade.
Wait a minute, is that why?
Conditioning. So if you get Carmelo Anthony, better shape, better conditioning, Pat Riley gets him to buy into whatever they want him to do. I can see it working, but that's 3 ifs. That's 3 ifs.
Is that why? Wait, is that why Josh Harrelson is not on the Miami Heat anymore?
I mean, I just didn't. I think this just wasn't a place for him there. You know what I mean? And I felt like they thought Beasley was going to be that piece, man, that they needed because he's a scorer too. He can score the basketball.
Right.
But defensively, man, he even when he gets in the game now, like lately I saw him. I mean, I think right before the playoffs, it's layup city on the sorry about that. It's layup city on the it's layup city for the offense. I mean, he's late on rotations. He's late on everything. He's late on everything. And you can't do that with the Miami Heat because that's what we live for.
Right.
Defensive rotations. Sometimes we have a 3-man rotation. Sometimes we have a 4-man rotation. And if you don't know that, then you can't play. You can't play down here.
See, and now you look at the way the Heat are playing in the finals, and they look last game they won by 2 points. That was a tough game.
Yeah, it was a good game and a tough game. Yeah.
That's what I'm not. So everyone's like, everyone keeps telling me the Heat got it the rest of the way now. I don't think that's the case. I actually, Strick, I know you're amped up right now. Strick, I know you're sneaker high right now. I know you're amped up right now. But I like the Spurs tonight, okay? I like the Spurs.
I mean, I just told you. It's going to be a war game tonight, man. Yeah. They got to come to play tonight. Just because they're home, the Spurs are not going to lay down.
No.
They're not going to lay down.
No.
They're not going to lay down. Tonight is going to be the tail test of the series.
Yeah. What do you, Kyle, what do you think about the Spurs winning tonight?
I think
they win tonight, they win the series.
I think they can win any night. Obviously, they're there for a reason. Here's what it comes down to, because I think Ginobili, Duncan, and Parker cancel out LeBron, Bosh, and Wade.
If they play well, though.
What?
If they play well.
If they play well, obviously, yeah. Well, yeah. So I think those 3 cancel each other out, but it's who's going to step up other than them. Because in Game 1, it was Danny Green in that fourth quarter knocking down all those 3-point shots that really propelled the Spurs. In Game 2, in my opinion, Rashard Lewis was that guy.
Right.
Rashard Lewis is somebody who barely played all season, and now he's starting for the Heat, and he's knocking down 3s.
Because he's balling.
You know? And he was the guy in Game 2 for me that was the X factor for the Heat. So in Game 3, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Kawhi Leonard? Is it going to be Ray Allen? Is it going to be Tiago Splitter? Is it going to be Shane Battier?
Right.
There's got to be the fourth guy on each of those teams. Who is it going to be, and are they going to step up?
I think Ray Allen's going to have a good game tonight. I like that.
Oh, thank you. From your mouth to God's ears, please. Jesus.
Yeah, I think Kawhi Leonard is going to have a big night tonight.
I think that too.
But, man, we think about us. We haven't had anything from Mario Chalmers. We haven't had anything from Norris Cole. They just kind of like disappeared.
Yeah.
Disappeared. Literally disappeared.
Right.
We need them to step up tonight if we're going to win at home. It can't be just LeBron. It can't be just D. Wade. It can't be just Chris Bosh making threes. Those guys have to step up.
Right.
Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole going to have to step up tonight. They're going to have to.
It's gonna have to be. Look, every game in this series is gonna be tough the rest of the way, especially after that first game. Every game the rest of the way is gonna be tough. You can't fall asleep on the Spurs, especially after beating them in the finals last season in a Game 7. Can't do it. You can't do it. They're gonna come back. And that's what they're feeding off of right now, okay? They watching that Ray Allen footage from Game 6 last season over and over the entire season. Popovich has been showing that cut. So they know, okay? They are hungry. Duncan knows he's up there in age. Who, by the way, he's been playing unbelievable. Nice. Yo, this guy is the Derek Jeter of the NBA. He really is a class act all the way. He is the Derek Jeter of the NBA, in my opinion.
Yeah. And
he's the best power forward
ever
that ever played the game to me, man.
Ever.
Just under the radar. He gets big numbers every year, still putting up big numbers. They made it to the finals again, which they did last year. So,
how about this? You want to hear a nice little stat for Duncan?
Yeah.
In Game 2, he tied Magic Johnson's all-time record for most postseason double-doubles.
Wow, yeah.
So, one more double-double, and he will have the all-time record. Now, that says two things. One, that he's been good enough and fortunate enough to be in those many postseason games.
Yeah.
And two, that he's able to dominate in those postseason games.
Yeah.
And it's not easy because you're going against basically the best talent in the NBA. I mean, the guys in the postseason are the best coached and the best players. You don't just make it to the postseason by chance. So it says a lot about Duncan. I think Duncan and Popovich is sort of this time, I don't want to say this generation, but this time period's Jordan and Jackson. I mean, Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan is Popovich and Duncan. To me, when Popovich and Duncan are gone, they're on the same plateau as Jordan and Phil Jackson. And you may say I'm crazy, but I think they're both right there. Given the amount of finals appearances they've been in together, the amount of times they've won championships together, you just said Tim Duncan is the all-time greatest power forward in the league. I mean, that's got to put him somewhere near Jordan, if you think about it. And Phil Jackson and Popovich, They're long runs with the same teams, and I think that Popovich has had more success with the Spurs than Jackson has had with the Bulls, in my opinion. Just because Phil Jackson, right, had Michael Jordan, who is considered the greatest player of all time, and Popovich has been able to get to the finals and win championships. I mean, if he wins a championship with Duncan now, that's number 5 for them. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's 5 rings for them. Okay, that puts them one short of Jackson and Jordan.
Not to mention
the same plateau, then they're damn near very close.
Not to mention all the times they came close to winning.
Last year.
Yeah. So
they got to be somewhere near Jackson and Jordan if they're not neck and neck.
Close, not neck and neck. Close. They have to win 6 or 7 to do that, and I don't see that happen.
You never know with the Spurs. You got to be real for a second. You really don't know with that organization because every year everyone says, "No, Duncan's older. He doesn't have it." You know, these guys are older. Yeah, every season they come out.
Not me. There's no team in the West yet that can overtake them. I don't see it.
Oh, agreed. But but there's a lot. But I'm saying that's always been. Hey, they're another season in. That's another year on Tim Duncan's knees. Another year on his legs, his body taking a beating every season. Whether his minutes drop or not, he's out there on the court taking a beating. Okay, and he's still look at the difference between Garnett and Duncan. And I'm not saying Kevin Garnett's the greatest power forward of all time like Timmy, but these guys have both been in the league for a very long time, and look at the difference. Duncan at 30 whatever is putting up 26-point games.
And Garnett was
putting up 4-point games. I mean, like, that's a big difference. That shows you, like, he really is one of the greatest ever, and you can never count this guy out. And he doesn't look like he's slowing down.
Superstar.
Yeah.
Superstar.
He's not going to be one of those guys that retires averaging like 8 points a game in a season.
This is what I think about Duncan, is that he's never relied on his athleticism, and that's why he is where he is today. That's why he's called a big fundamental. It's because he plays the game smart, and you don't have to be the most talented guy on the court to be the most dominant.
No, because he
plays the right way, and that's why you see so many of these players that they're so explosive early on in their career. Then their body starts to take a wear, and then they disappear. McGrady, Carter, Iverson, they disappear because that athleticism starts to fade away, and other guys become more dynamic, and they relied on that one style of play for so long, but that's never been Duncan's game, and I think that's why he's been able to last so long.
I also think Duncan plays like a center in a lot of ways. I see, like, he's like a center playing power forward, and he is. That's why I think that's part of the reason why especially his post game, very similar to a lot of like great centers in the NBA. I don't think there's a lot of power forwards that play like Tim Duncan, that fundamental, and I think at his position, that's what makes him also such a great power forward, because he's playing like a center, because he really could play center. Let's be real here. He has the body, he's got the height, he could play center. This is a 7-foot power forward. Like, I mean, that definitely helps a little bit.
I just like them as an all-around team. I think they know each other very well. I think Ginobili with Parker, those guys really, they know each other really well, and they just, it's like a machine.
Right.
You know, they run their stuff. They have counters to whatever you do, to whatever they're trying to do. It's just a well-oiled machine. They have a great leader in Pop. I mean, those three guys, man, I think really make that team go.
Right.
And then you got a mix of the young players that's coming along and learning. You know, Kawhi Leonard. You know, and the shooters that they have surrounded by those guys. It's just a good mix. And I think, like I said before, coming into this playoffs, they were healthy.
Right.
Last year they weren't healthy. This year they're healthy. That's why I was kind of scared of them with the Heat. But I just feel like, man, when you had the best player in the game, man, you know, like he did in the second half last game, you know, there's nothing you could do with that. There's nothing you can do with a guy making mid-range jumpers, threes, getting to the bucket whenever he wants, drawing that whole team, man, and giving guys wide open shots where there's nobody running at them. I mean, you can't overcome that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the only difference. But I like the Spurs. I still think the Spurs are going to always be one of the top teams as long as those three guys are playing and Popovich is there. There's not a team in the West that has not put together a team that can overcome those guys yet. Right. And it happens every season. And they have the best record every year. I mean, it's just, and they're playing in the West like we all been talking about. The West
That's
is
what I mean.
basketball.
That's why I make the comparison to Jordan and Jackson.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
that's why
they're close. They're close. I don't think they're there yet, but they're very close. You make a legitimate argument.
See, I like that we always talk about the Spurs being a well-oiled machine and all that.
They are.
But
they are, man.
What's interesting is when if they ever get blown out, it's not like they didn't do what they were supposed to do. It's almost like when you go into a casino. I'm not saying it's luck, completely luck, but if another team is just hitting every shot, all the shots are going in, then yeah, you're gonna have a big night, and you're like, if you go into blackjack and you're just constantly getting 21, which happens like over, there's a night it was your night, you beat the house that night. Okay? Yeah. Well, guess what? Like, when the Spurs get blown out by 20, that doesn't happen, like, back-to-back nights. That won't ever happen back-to-back nights. So, I'm just saying, if a team comes in against the Spurs and is just on fire, and that doesn't mean that it's luck, because obviously there are teams that are capable of getting that hot. They have the talent, they have the ability, like the Heat. LeBron can go off, okay? But if you're the Spurs and you get blown out in that one game or whatever it is, it's just like going to the casino and just having a good night. That machine is the same every single night. They execute their plays, you know what you're going to get, and the odds are always against you no matter what. But if you come in, you make all your shots, obviously you have a much better chance to win or even blow out the Spurs, which is kind of what Miami, has done in the past. And then this season they played pretty well against the Spurs. They always do. Look, they're the Heat, okay?
Yeah.
They're the Miami Heat, but they won by 2 points last night. It's not like they blew them out. So, like you said, this series is tough. It's the finals. Everything's at stake here. The Heat are trying to three-peat. Duncan's trying to get his 5th ring and maybe get that legacy that Kyle's talking about. So,
Right. Here's my question now to Mark.
Yes.
Did San Antonio cut the power to the AC?
oh my God.
I don't know. I just don't see Popovich doing that, man. I think it was the AC just broke. I don't know. Who knows? You never know, man.
And
I know. All I can say to that is we've been talking about that all week with my friends. I just looked at it like this. They had 5 guys on the court, and we had 5 guys on the court. And they had to play in it, too. That's all I can say.
That's true. And now here's my second question.
Yeah.
I've never in my life, and I'm not saying it's not possible, but I've never in my life seen anyone cramp up to that extent. Have you ever come across anyone?
Got to answer for that, too. Imagine when you sleep. Is this the type of cramping that he had was not just the cramp you get when you're sleeping, and you're like, oh, it's not that type of cramp. So that type of cramp, I know you've had one, and it hurts. Imagine having like 8 of them on one leg. Like, you can't move.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I've never seen that.
Nobody is LeBron.
He wasn't faking.
Shoes. Nobody puts the energy into this season. Like, come on, man. This dude played a lot of games this season by himself.
I'm not doubting.
And then you add that with 90, 98 degrees in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Now, he need to stop doing the Sprite, man. Get you a water deal. Forget the Sprite. Forget the Sprite. You're not drinking Sprite. Get a water deal.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to drink during a game.
That's exactly.
I'm not doubting that.
Oh, that's right. He's drinking his Sprite mix.
I'm not doubting that he
can't do Sprite.
I'm not doubting he experienced that, and I'm not doubting that he couldn't get back out there. All I'm saying is that I've never, and I've played, obviously I've never played in the NBA, but I've played a lot of basketball in my life, and I play outside, when it's like 90, 95.
Exactly.
And I've never seen that before.
You're just saying you've never seen it before, that's all.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
I understand that. But this type of basketball is not the basketball. Like I tell my relatives, every family reunion, they think that NBA basketball is like what we play at the family reunion picnic. And it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same ball, man. It's not the same type of basketball. It's on a different level. You're playing against the best players in the world. And you have to put a lot into your body. It's a grueling job, man. Most of your sleep, you're sleeping in hotels. You're sleeping on the plane. You're traveling all across West Coast, East Coast. I mean, it's a grind, man. I mean, but nobody ever shows that part of the game. All they show is the cars, the clothes. Oh, he has this endorsement, that endorsement. They don't ever show behind the scenes where guys are coming to the arena at 9 o'clock at night getting shots up. They never show the treatment that they get after practice. They never show them getting to the arena 2 hours before practice getting treatment as well. Like, they don't show the grueling part of it. It's a grueling job, man.
Right.
It pays well. Can't complain about that, but it's grueling. It's grueling on your body. Even now, man, my back hurts sometimes. My ankle hurts sometimes. And I wasn't even a superstar. But it's a grueling job. My back hurts. My ankle hurts, man. I walk down steps sometimes. I'm popping. Like I'm pop locking, like I'm a robot, like my bones are popping. Like it's just the grind of the season. I have arthritis in my left knee. If I run to the mailbox and run back, my knee looks like a softball. That just comes from wear and tear. Man. It's a grueling job. It's grueling, and I can understand that how people don't understand how somebody cramping up like that. Because it's never been seen before, but I understand how it feels, man, to have like multiple cramps in your body. When your body is like, hey, man, you got to stop.
But for all the people...
I got to get some water. I got to get some juice in me right now.
Well, this is what scares me.
No, wait. For all the people that were taking shots at LeBron, calling him, all those names are coming out of the game and everything. It's not like he came out when they were down by 20 points. I mean, he came out at a 2-point lead. It's not like it was a 2-point game at that point. And
all I can say is, man, he came back the next game after he got rehydrated. and then he did his little yoga thing, and he came back and dropped 35 and 10, and we got the dub.
His little
That's
yoga
all I can
thing.
say.
His
So
little,
this guy.
wait a minute. What the hell is his little yoga thing?
4 minutes or whatever it was. That means that he could not go.
Well,
That's how I
what?
look at that.
Strick, what's his little yoga thing? What the hell? What is that?
I mean, he probably took yoga to stretch, man. What you have to do in sports, you have to do a lot of stretch. I still have to stretch now. I take yoga now, just so I won't be walking around like a 90-year-old man.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta take care of your body still. You have to stretch. You gotta stretch. Stretching is key.
You like the yoga?
Even Michael Jordan said that. Michael Jordan stretched. When he came back with the Wizards, he said he has to stretch. He was stretching when he's watching TV. He stretches before he go to bed. He stretches before he gets up in the morning. You have to keep your body loose. You have to keep those bands in your body loose. That's just how it is, man.
You know what scares me is that LeBron James is looked at as the most in shape,
Yeah.
the most conditioned.
Yeah.
You know, he's looked at as like the perfect specimen, athlete-wise. He looks like he's in great shape. And if that can happen to him, damn.
Look out.
Yeah, then look out.
I mean, he pushes his body to different levels, though. Every player does not push their body to that level. Every player doesn't have that type of. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've never seen it before either. I mean, I had my questions about it, but man, I understand the grueling. I understand that grind of playing in the NBA, man, and it's no joke. It's no joke. It's not all fun and games.
I push my body to that level. When I'm out there, I'll be like a
The white aisle.
Kobe. I'm
White owl
out there, yo. People, I go crazy. All right.
Yeah, I see the war wound on your arm, man. I see the war wound.
No joke out here in these streets.
I think it's a big joke.
No joke out here. Not everybody plays at the Y like AJ, you know?
Hey, I play with Quincy
Everybody's
Doobie,
out
all
there
right? Who do you
playing
play with?
Like AJ.
Hey, I play with Quincy Doobie. Who do you play with?
Not everybody's out here playing at the YMCA.
You know, I play with NBA players. Who do you play with?
I play with street ballers, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
I play with street ballers.
All right, Snowball. Okay.
Where we don't call reaching fouls. We don't call charging fouls. You know, it's just straight boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
The only
right?
thing
There's no basic game.
you do is you play mailman and give everybody their mail. That's all you do.
There's
you don't even play.
There's no. Hey, listen, Karl Malone was the mailman. So if you call me Karl Malone, then that's cool.
No,
with
I'm
me.
calling you Snowball from Harry Potter.
You
I'm calling you
the
I'm calling you an
postman,
owl
call
that delivers
me
mail.
Malone,
That's what
cool.
I'm calling you, not the mailman.
Damn. You know, we don't play with referees like you do at the Y. I'm sorry, all right?
Let me tell you something.
We
Straight.
don't have Gatorade break. Gatorade
Yeah,
doesn't
wait a
work
minute.
for us,
All
right?
right, wait. I was recruiting Strick. If he lived in Jersey,
to play a game.
and he's like, man, Strick's like, I don't have time with these refs.
I play softball.
He's like, I don't have time with these refs not calling anything, and that's exactly what happens. These refs, like, they come off of work, they got nothing else to do, they just sit there and watch. They don't make calls.
Play with referees. We are our own referees. We don't have referees. You know what happens when we make a call? We go shoot for it. All right, that's what we do.
Yeah, well, when you're playing,
putting us at the
when
free
you're
throw
playing
line,
the league,
we
they
shoot
give
for
you
it.
reps.
Ball never lie. That's how we play the game.
Ball don't lie. Rasheed Wallace. All right, wait. We're wrapping up the show here. Where's Kevin Love going?
Moscow.
What? Why'd you say?
He's going to play at the Y in Moscow.
Oh, okay.
Atlanta Hawks.
The Hawks? Did you say the Atlanta Hawks? Yeah. Okay.
I don't know where he's going, man.
All right.
really
I
don't
can
know.
tell you he's definitely not going.
He's going to OKC. I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
OKC.
I
You
can
want to
tell.
hear something crazy? This is what I would do.
I can tell you he's definitely not going to the Hawks. I can tell you that much.
You going to
Let me tell you what
OKC?
OKC.
You ready
Go
for
ahead.
this?
Yeah.
I trade Dwight Howard for Kevin Love and make Asik my center. And have Omer Asik, Kevin Love, James, and Harden. And
That's
Chandler
nice.
Parsons. That's what
That
I'm
is
looking
nice.
for.
That is nice, though.
Omer Asik proves he can be a starting center. And I'll
Yes.
trade Dwight Howard. And I'll have Omer Asik as my starting center. Boom. That just blew everybody's mind.
That's not bad, actually.
I know it's not bad. That's
I
what
didn't
would
even
do.
think of that. I didn't even
You should
think
be
of
a
that.
GM, man. You should be a GM.
I should be the
No. Whoa.
Thank you.
Listen. Wait a
Just
minute.
can't be a coach. Just don't be a coach.
Strick, don't blow his
Don't be
head
a
up
coach,
here.
man. Coaching is horrible.
Yeah.
Strick, I get text from him saying you should feel honored that you have a real NBA analyst on your show. And this is the same guy that was wrong about just about every series this
Everything
season.
this year. You suck.
You
this
should.
year.
You
Your record is
should.
like
Bino!
1-18.
All I gotta say is Bino Udrih. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Hey, he proved my point. That guy had some really good
He
games.
proved nothing. They lost the series, so you lose.
That's because Zach Randolph got suspended.
You lose.
Or they would have won.
White Owl.
Damn. I should be a GM.
No.
And that's an NBA
No.
player telling me I should be a GM.
No.
In your face.
Yo,
Yo,
today that was a good nice little Kevin Love trade though. I give
Yeah,
you that was
he's-
nice.
Right, you know,
Everyone has their
Yeah,
moments.
That was nice.
I'd say Kyle would be
Yeah.
a good, maybe like assistant GM, but if he was the head of my franchise, forget it. Like I might as well just, like
and
sell the
that's not
team.
with me even thinking. That's just me like how my mind works, right? In the heat of thing. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
It's just something I do.
All right, what else you got? Go.
For what?
For anything. Go ahead.
I think a lot of things can be done, and I think that Roy Hibbert has not a great contract, but I think he can be had for an expiring contract, and next season I think he just needs a different scenario, and he needs to get out of Indiana because he's already proven he's an all-star. He made the all-star team. He's already proven he's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. So I'd bring him on.
Roy Hibbert.
If I was the Knicks, I'd trade Tyson Chandler for him.
No way.
Didn't you say that was a bad trade?
Can't get rid of defense. You can't get.
Wait a minute.
Let's get rid of Tyson Chandler. They're idiots.
We talked about
Tyson Chandler's on an expiring contract. He's gonna be free.
Don't matter. They better re-sign him. You can't find a center like that, man. Who
Roy
can get
Hibbert.
offense.
Roy Hibbert.
Man, you'll take Roy Hibbert over Chandler?
Oh,
No,
here
he
we
made the
go.
All-Star team this season.
Who?
Roy Hibbert.
Oh, he's still trash. That don't mean anything.
Oh, here we go.
He's in a bad spot right now with Indiana.
Trash, man. You can't, dude. You can't. Anybody that's playing in the NBA and they get 2 points a game or 0 points, they're trash.
Wow, you heard it
All right.
here.
I don't know.
He needs work. Even Larry Bird said, "Hey, Roy needs to get with one of these older guys, one of these old good centers, Kim Olajuwon, Kareem." He said it himself. He needs work, man.
Yeah.
What if
needs
you
work.
I hope
You
Roy
got
Hibbert
two
didn't just hear all
points.
this.
Man, I don't care, man. I'm telling to his face, yo, man, you need work. Yo, you can't be a starting center in the NBA, man, going 4 or 5 games with 0 points in the playoffs. Come
Can't
on,
happen.
dude. That's
Can't happen.
ridiculous.
drop in 2 points at the Y like AJ?
Man, I don't
Excuse
care.
me. I had
He's
21
Roy
last
Hibbert right
game.
now.
I don't want to hear it. I had 21 points last game. I don't want to hear it.
What if you have 2 points like AJ at the Y?
21 points. Okay, and they were all threes, 7 threes, 7 for 12. So
And those 2 points came
That's
when there was
o-
only 10 seconds left.
that's
in a
over
blowout game.
50% from 3-point range. Okay, so I don't even want to hear it. It's 21
Hey,
points,
I know
baby.
we're about to wrap up, but
Yep.
one other thing, since we're talking about the Knicks, kind of, J.R. Smith said on Twitter, some fan said, "I see you going to win a 6th Man of the Year, mark my words." And J.R. Smith responded with, "No more bench for me," which means they don't even have a coach in place, and J.R. Smith is already like, "Yo, I'm not coming off the bench." Coach.
Derek Fisher, you got some work to do, baby.
Like I've been saying all year, no discipline. Can't win with guys with no
Off the
discipline.
bench.
All right.
Can't win with guys with no discipline. This dude
All
is
right.
crazy. First he's buying a tank, then he's untying people's shoes. Like, this dude's, man, what's wrong with him, man?
I don't
Now
know.
he's not coming off the bench.
There's a lot wrong with J.R. Smith sometimes and what he says. I think he knows it too, though. He knows. All right, wrapping up the show.
Okay.
Wrapping up the show.
All right.
Talkin Hoops. TalkinHoops.com. Spurs Heat tonight. Clearly, Strick is rooting for the Spurs. So, we got that. Kyle, great show, buddy. Hopefully, you're the next GM of some minor
I'll be
D-League
the
team.
GM of your Y team. How about that?
Yeah, no thank you. We'll pass.
First thing I'm going to do is trade you, though.
Yeah, we'll pass on that. And if that's your first move already, we're definitely passing. All right. Until next time, Talkin Hoops, TalkinHoops.com, NBRPA Miami chapter, NBRPA.com. Check them out. We'll catch you on the rebound.
Until Talkin Hoops comes back into play, stay connected by getting at us on iTunes. Keep up to date with all the latest basketball news and rumors and check out all our shows by logging on to TalkinHoops.com.
Catch you on the rebound.